Strategies and tactics, complementary needs. There's a famous quote from Sun Tzu, I don't want to butcher it so I'll read it here, is that strategy without tactics is the slowest route to victory. Tactics without strategy is a noise before defeat. And so when we think of this, we always like to say that these two items need to be complementary within any successful business. And so when we're working with companies, we always like to illustrate and highlight both of these components. And you can almost think of it as the dichotomy of macro and micro. And so when we think of strategy, broad goals, the constituent elements or the sub-goals within those goals, and the general guidelines in which these want to be achieved. So we have a goal of X that we would like to accomplish within Y time period for Z resources, whether that's time, money, or otherwise. And so that's what we think of as strategy for a business. And so every business, as it's looking forward, should have ideas of what it wants to accomplish in the next 1 month, in the next 1 year, in the next 3 years, 5 years, and broader or longer therefrom. And within each of those strategies, and obviously the more near term the goal, the more granular it will be broken down, but what are the constituent sub-goals within that? What are the general guidelines for each of these things? And so that's what we largely think of as strategy. Tactics, on the other hand, is how do you effectuate strategy? What are the specific things that need to be done to change the strategy from an idea and from goals into action? You think of it as the transmission of the vehicle of business. And so just listing off some components that can be perceived as tactics trying to effectuate these goals. You've got hiring, marketing, affiliations, vendors, contractors, sourcing, procurement, advertisement, administration, finance, capital. And so these are just some ideas, and there's many, many more of them. But again, the tactics are the very specific things that need to be done in order to execute on the strategy. Going back to the Sun Tzu quote, we tend to agree that companies with a broader, cohesive strategy will move forward in a successful manner because ultimately they do figure out how to effectuate these things. However, by not putting an adequate amount of time or resources or importance on the tactics, it'll go much slower than is necessary. Tactics, on the other hand, can be dangerous because you can get really into the weeds in a particular situation. However, if you don't have the strategy or know which way you're going, what was the song? If you don't know where you're going, any road will get you there. Well, in business, it's not so bucolic, right? Bad things happen. There's pain at the end of that road if there's tactics and just resources being expended without having a direction as to which way the ship is going. And so from our perspective, just like we say with work harder, not smarter, best answer is both. Just as we say, do you want people who are smart or hardworking? The answer is both. In this scenario as well, do we want strategy or do we want tactics? The answer is both, an equal emphasis. If you feel like you're getting too much in the weeds for a certain amount of time, step back, try to see the forest for the trees, and understand what the broader strategy is. If you're too high level all of the time, get into the granularity, see what happens on a day-to-day basis, and then you'll really be able to extract certain pain points, pinch points, or why things aren't progressing in the way you want, or you'll see opportunities for how you can accelerate things in ways that you may not have been able to perceive from a much higher level. And so that's the thought for today. Strategy and tactics. Focus on both. These are complementary efforts, complementary exercises, and complementary attributes for a business. And so that's the thought. Keep pushing forward. Hope the week continues to go well. God bless. We'll see everyone next time.